Welcome back to Hannity. Our friends over at liveaction.org are launching an investigation into the kind of sex counseling that teens are receiving at Planned Parenthood. By the way, thanks to your tax dollars. Now, we've got to warn you, the video you're about to see is extremely disturbing. Now, it is a clip from the first episode that was released just today, and it shows a Planned Parenthood worker in Indianapolis giving a 15-year-old girl advice on how to experiment with her boyfriend. Take a look.
Or you could be a dominatrix type of person, to where you dress in like all leather or something with the whips and handcuffs, and you don't hurt you unless you
and then it's okay. Okay.
Or he might want to be that towards you.
Okay.
Be dominant over you.
Okay. What do you do with like the whips and stuff?
I normally get spanked with the whip, and it doesn't have to be that hard.
Yeah.
I mean, he needs to understand there needs to be rules to test your limits.
I've heard of it. I haven't read it.
You need to read it. She is very new to it, never had sex, and he's this experienced guy. So,
okay.
Those 3 books are good.
All right, here now with reaction is Live Action President Lila Rose. Did she know it was a 15-year-old girl?
Yeah, so at the beginning of the tape, she says, "How old are you?" And the girl says 15. And then she goes on to go through very explicit, I mean, it's hard to watch these tapes. They're unbelievable, but detail about how this 15-year-old girl can practice bondage, sadomasochism, self-harm, torture of herself and a partner during sex, and saying how it's all about what kind of pain you can take. This is the counsel being given to who they think is just a teenage girl, 15 years old.
You know, let me play another tape here, and then I want to get into the different aspects of this and the inappropriateness of this. You know, it's funny, if you send your kid to school and the school nurse, you can't even get an aspirin without a parent's permission and approval, but you go to Planned Parenthood and you're going to get this kind of information. But this gets even deeper into the advice she gives about being a dominatrix, what they use, how they use it, the amount of pain inflicted, etc. Watch this.
How do I know if something is like, if it's like a good kind of pain or not? Like, how do I know if it's too intense?
It'll feel good to you.
Really? I'll just be able to tell.
Like, it's a whip that's like about this long, and you got the handle, and there's like leather that's on it that goes down like this, like several strings, like 30 on it, and it kind of looks like a duster, but a leather duster.
A leather duster.
And with the handcuffs and the rope. It just depends what type of pain you can take. If he wants his chest smacked or something like that.
Okay.
Kinky, sex, dominatrix stuff, it's very popular.
Okay.
And people blog about it all the time.
Oh, do they? Okay, cool. So they could give me ideas for like how to start, how to do it.
Yep.
All right, first of all, the reason you fast forward is because she's telling that girl in explicit detail what she does.
Yes. Yeah, this is a Planned Parenthood counselor sharing her explicit torture sex experiences personally, and telling our girl how she can go to sex shops, how she can access porn sites, how she can use whips and different other tools in order to inflict pain on herself and a partner. And this is just one tape of many, Sean, and this is part of a bigger problem where Planned Parenthood has an extreme, dangerous sexual agenda for our nation's teenagers, and all of our teenagers are at risk if Planned Parenthood is in the community pushing this stuff.
What else do you have that they're telling them? I mean, she actually is asking the question, is it going to be painful? And all the Planned Parenthood person says, oh, you know, it'll feel good to you.
Yeah, she's coaching this girl how she can work up to more intense stuff during sex to increase the level of pain and domination, or being subjected to her partner, submitting to her partner during this torture sex. I mean, it's so offensive and disgusting. If you're a parent, if you're an educator, if you have nieces or sisters, I have younger sisters, imagine someone telling them this stuff and encouraging them to experiment, go to a porn site, a sex shop. This stuff is disgusting. But Sean, this group, Planned Parenthood, is receiving over $500 million a year of tax dollars. Yeah. And under Obamacare, under the PrEP program, they can receive up to $75 million more. That PrEP program is for so-called teen sex education. Planned Parenthood is first in line to get that money. They're also the biggest abortion chain. That's a whole other story. They're killing 320,000 kids in the womb every year. And then this is their so-called sex education for our nation's teenagers. I mean, if you're a parent and you watch these tapes and you're upset, which you will be, call your superintendent, call your local school board. Ask them point blank, do you have a relationship with Planned Parenthood? Are you letting them in our schools? If they even stutter on the other end of that line, you know that something's
So
up
you're
and you
talking
should
about girls
lobby your school.
in like 8th grade, 9th grade.
We're talking
and they're being told about
8th grade, 9th grade.
handcuffs, ropes, and whips, and that all of it
It's
is...
sick.
Go ahead.
It's sexual abuse, Sean. This is sexual abuse, encouraging teens, little girls, how to play with sexual abuse and how to subject themselves to a partner. And then Planned Parenthood goes on about practicing safe words. Well, if it gets too intense, just use a special word. How is that going to stop a violent sexual encounter? I mean, they're putting little girls in the mouth of the lion's den saying, hey, here you go, just here's a whip, here's some handcuffs, and you're going to be fine as long as you have this magical safe word. It's insanity. It's insanity that this is happening and that we're funding this organization.
Are we going to have more tapes being revealed in the days and weeks ahead?
Yes, there's more to come. Again, very disturbing to watch. I hate to be the bearer of this news, but this is the future of our country. These are our nation's teenagers. What we tell them to do sexually, how we educate them sexually, is going to impact the rest of their lives. And if we just hand it over to Planned Parenthood and other groups like them, pour millions of dollars into them and say, here are our nation's teenagers, go at them, this is the kind of thing you can expect.
You know,
and
the
it's
thing
sick.
about this
Parents
is,
should be against
look,
it.
if liberal parents want to teach this to their kids, I guess that's their business.
I think it's child abuse.
I guess that's their
no,
business.
I don't know if that should be their business. I'd call Child Protective Services
But
on
the
that.
idea that we're going to use tax dollars and that people feel that they can circumvent the values, and in many cases religious values of parents, is what really bothers me here. And that's on the issue of abortion,
As it
too.
should.
So, all right.
As it should. And so call your school board, call your superintendent, find out what's up. Planned Parenthood has their tentacles in our communities trying to get in front of our students. You can stop that at the local level.
All right, Lila, thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate it. We'll
Thanks,
continue
John.
to follow it. And coming up next tonight, right here on Hannity.
The most important thing I did was to help restore America's leadership around